It's time for the LowcoSports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Hey, LowcoSports fans, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr with you to start things off. And I'm sure Max will magically appear at some point as he makes his way home from work over in Beaufort, overseeing I got a gnat in here, overseeing the youth sports, the future of LowcoSports through the rec department over there. And I was out at the ballpark tonight myself in Bluffton at Oscar Frazier, seeing the young kids playing, and love to see it. It was a great weekend for that as well with the softball at Oscar Frazier, which we talked about on last night's Sunday night special edition. You can check that out. We went through all the brackets, and now some of the brackets have been updated because we had playoff action tonight, mostly in baseball and boys soccer. I had some tennis matches that we're looking for results from, and maybe somebody can chime in with how the Bluffton and May River boys tennis teams did in the lower state semifinals. And we're still missing one other score, Ridgeland and Military Magnet in the first round of the Class 1A boys soccer playoffs. But we got the rest for you. We'll run through them. What's that? Oh, yeah, we're missing HHCA Trinity as well. So we'll try to track those down. But the big one tonight turned out to be kind of a dud for the Loco. May River boys lacrosse, first team from the Loco to reach the state championship game in lacrosse since they sanctioned the sport through the high school league and starting in 2009, I believe. And the Sharks did not have enough pebbles in their sling tonight to take down Goliath. Oceanside Collegiate jumped on them early and was not a fun one to cover, Wes. Not a fun cover.
Well, sometimes it be that way, and
sometimes it do.
It is a terrific team, a outstanding lacrosse team. Tell you what, they showed they're not just one of the best teams in the state. I believe they're one of the best teams in the Southeast or perhaps the country. I feel like they could go up against a majority of squads around the Southeast.
I have no point of reference, but they're a unit.
I have this as an outside perspective, so.
Right.
But I think the way they played and just the athleticism and the physicality and just the package of what they showed.
We put some value in the Max Preps rankings, right? So they're ranked 13th nationally.
Yeah, that's what I'm basing it on. So
that's the level we're talking about.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Now I'm looking at most of these schools are from Florida, Georgia. There's got to be a lot of schools from the Northeast.
There's a couple Marylands in there, and I mean most Maryland schools would probably wax a lot of other areas. So
no,
it is what it is.
What I'm saying is, you look at all the hotbeds of lacrosse, and you look at the Marylands in New York, or not Maryland, Massachusetts, New York. There are a bunch of academy schools I'm sure are up there. You're just looking at the Southeast. When you look at like South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, this team can rival anybody. By the way, they've been, the way they played here tonight. And that's just got to tip your hat to a very good team. You can't fault May River too much for how they played. Certainly, they had a couple of mistakes, but once again, you're going up against a powerhouse of a team, and certainly when you look at the big picture of the season, a lot of accomplishments for the squad, and just a lot of excitement about this program coming in the future. But just tough to see it to happen the way it did, especially at home when you have a good crowd there and. It's unfortunate to see how that got away from him so quickly.
Yeah. Well, I was just noticing, and then I got a text about it at the same time that I was noticing it. Looking at these national rankings, Wando is ranked 12th and Lucy Beckham ranked 10th. So Oceanside is the third ranked team in South Carolina. Those other two compete in 5A. So while South Carolina may not be necessarily a lacrosse hotbed unto itself, Charleston is. And so, Charleston has become like a mini Baltimore in some way with how many outstanding programs you have there and the travel lacrosse being played there. Here you go. Here's a couple scores for you from 1A soccer. Ridgeland advances 5-2. Oh, I thought they were playing military, but 5-2 over Charleston Math and Science. Green Sea Floyd's 3-2 over Bowman. So Green Sea Floyd's comes to the Ville on Thursday night. 1A boys soccer.
There you go. But going back to and I have some video, and I got to talk with Coach Dyer after the game for just a bit and his thoughts about the season as a whole and what happened tonight. But Carter Gregory was an absolute beast. Had a bunch of assists early. He scored a couple goals in the second quarter to really extend the lead. And then Brody Hollingsworth had a hat trick in the first quarter. He scored 3 in a row. And then shortly after that, it was the aforementioned Gregory who scored off the turnover. And just when you go down by that many against a good team, it's just it makes it nearly insurmountable. You had to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But a terrific season all the way around for the Shark squad, and love the fight, love to compete. As I talked about with Coach Dyer after the game, and just find a way to finish strong, and I think they did in that game. I love the way that May River showed themselves out this season. Just the way this program, it's only a few years old, and now they really continue to up their game the last couple of years, and now get into this.
Well, and this was kind of supposed to be a down year, I think. Like I think last year certainly was kind of a rebuilding year, and then I think this year kind of was supposed to be, the next step of that, but they seem to be way ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
And again, Loco Rush has trained kids coming, in
Ashton
bunches.
Stevenson, who was the OT hero in the game against Stacy Flora, scored again tonight, and certainly that's a guy. Good to see him get that last one, the senior year. He's going to be certainly missed for that program. Really the heart and soul throughout the playoffs, especially for what he did with the heroics there. But there's a lot of they do have a couple of seniors that are missed. Landon Kushner also gained a goal for the Sharks late in that one, and there are some guys that will be leaving this program certainly in a much better place than they found it in just a few years. But the tradition will continue. You look at the youth that's progressing up, watching these games unfold, and the younger guys on this team. So it's a great thing that's building over there. I will say that Hilton Head was the more the more dominant power throughout the early years, but the Sharks have swung the hammer, and they have been the team to beat here in the Loco, and we'll see if the Seahawks are able to find a way to get that claim back in the future. But right now, Coach Dyer's doing a great job of that program. His assistant coaches are as well, and love the future of what we could see there across the board with May River Shark Athletics and this lacrosse side specifically. And still making history this year. first team to get to the point, first team to play in a state championship game, and hopefully a lot more to come. And that's the goal. But Oceanside Collegiate, sometimes you run into a buzzsaw, and that was a lot here in this one.
Well, I do have this sound here from Coach Dyer, and unfortunately, we were able to have Coach Dyer and Ashton Stevenson on ahead of the state championship game. When they were in brighter spirits and able to really put into perspective this run for them. So this will be a little more somber, but certainly you should go back and check out the last one if you missed that to hear about a great season for May River lacrosse. And here's head coach Tom Dyer after the loss tonight to Oceanside.
We did a great job. We started the season off slow, 3-3. And since then, we battled back to be 10-2, and we had some overtime wins and come behind wins, and the guys just battled back. And we laid it all out on the field. It doesn't show from today. We were the 5 seed in the state final, and those guys are number 13 in the country. And it showed tonight, and we got to work hard this upcoming year to close this gap and be here next year, and see if we can take the whole thing.
Describe what you learned after facing one of the top teams in the nation in lacrosse in Oceanside Collegiate.
I learned that we need to make sure we are playing against teams next year that are really fast and really strong, that prepare us for teams like this, and that we have a harder schedule going through next year, and we might take some lumps and we might have some growing pains. That's the only way that this program is going to continuously be up at the top.
Describe the fight that you saw from your guys down the stretch, the last minutes of this game.
When we went into the locker room, we said, guys, that's about as worst we could possibly play ever, and we can either go out there and continue to play that poorly, or we can turn it around and have a bunch of pride in ourselves and go and play our game, and whatever happens, happens. But as long as we can say we left it on the field, then so be it. And I believe that's what we did in the second half to kind of chip back away in it. We didn't take our starters out. They didn't take their starters out, and we gave them everything we got.
describe how you'd like to build on this season in the years to come here with this program at May River.
It's incredibly important that our guys currently find a weight room going into the summer, and that they have a stick in their hand all the time working on stick skills. It's incredibly important that we recruit the hallways at May River and try to get anybody that we can that's athletic to come out and help us out from other sports that play in the fall or play in the winter. We don't have a chance to get a lot of guys in. We're max capacity. We don't have a chance to, just recruit the entire area. And we just got to be able to take care of business next year by doing those things. And that'll help us go in the right direction.
Outstanding season, Coach. Thank you.
Excellent stuff there. Wes, a pro as always with the post-game interview, and Dyer is a pro at delivering the post-game interview
there's
as
some
well.
good info there. And I'd like the point that he made about, number one, just the scheduling. And if you want to beat these teams at this time of year, you got to look beyond the year. You got to, I mean, there are pros to playing the local teams, but you got to look well beyond the Charleston teams of the world, and even some schools in Georgia up over in even going like on a trip early in the year, playing some quality squads from out of state. That's what really helps you see what you got. And now that you know that you got to take the extra step in order to beat a team like an Oceanside Collegiate, this is where you look to potentially make that schedule more difficult this coming year and in the future for this team. So I think that's absolutely the right move for Dyer and this lacrosse program going forward. And recruiting the hallways. I mean, you have a ton of football talent. You have a ton of athletic talent around here. Can you find some more guys to supplement and complement what you have already on this roster? So it's, I agree with Coach. Outstanding year, and a lot to be happy about just by the way that the way this team continued to fight and grind throughout the year, despite a tough start, or at least maybe a little not as good as you might anticipate for the team. But then again, this is a team that, as you said, went through a little bit of growing pains. They weren't expected to be to this level compared to prior years. So I think all in all, a huge monumental success when you look back at this season. And now you have to look forward to some steps that you need to take in order to compete with the best of the best in what should be a growing crop of lacrosse talent here in the state, especially those Charleston squads, which are continuing to set the pace. But there's no reason why this program can't be right there year after year.
Indeed. Great season for May River boys lacrosse. I was trying to track a couple other things while you were talking there, and then I got gremlin for a minute, but luckily you were opining, so I was able to get back in here. But great stuff from that team, and we expect continued success from that program, because they have definitely built it up in the right way. They've got the feeder program going now. They've got kids in the area excited about playing lacrosse, and particularly about playing, May River lacrosse, and I think Hilton Head lacrosse and Bluffton lacrosse. The sport is really ready to jump to the next level in the area. And, some of that's probably trickling down from Charleston too. We've had the best kids going up and playing in that hotbed for a while now. And so it's just, people have gone there and seen what it looks like and brought it back down. And then, of course, Kieran McCardle changed the metric completely, because that's a guy who built a program in Long Island, so where it's already a hotbed. And so he's doing the same thing here. And we're going to see that coming.
I just remember when you were talking about the early days when you first got here and covered lacrosse, and just how fundamental or elementary it seemed compared to what it is now.
Sure did. It was freeze tag.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was rough in the early years. It didn't seem like the refs even knew the rules, like kind of everybody was sort of going with the flow. It was like rec ball, and now it's definitely played on a different level in the area. So good to see. We do need to get it expanded north of the Broad. Very true.
Yep.
I think Beaufort they're getting a little bit of traction, but they're the only one up there. So definitely need to see more of that. So we'll see when that expansion occurs. They seem to get the latter end of things often. They're scrambling to build up infrastructure on some different stuff, in the area. So definitely need to get some more support over there. But shout out to our presenting sponsor tonight, our all-star sponsor, our original sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm. They've been with us since the beginning. If you have legal needs, you need to call on Mickelson. They are our official real estate closing attorney, and they're also a presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And HHCA baseball has a big one coming on Wednesday. We're looking for that boys soccer score. If anybody's got that one handy, I'll make a quick pass through the old Instagram here and see if the Eagles have one. But while I talk about Mickelson Law Firm, great folks, great law firm. They can do everything for you if you have legal needs, and we hope you don't, because it's always a pain when you do. But if you do, Mickelson Law Firm will make it as painless as possible for you. I just accidentally clicked on our live stream. So no, I don't see that HHCA boys soccer score, but I wanted to talk a little baseball because we do have some baseball scores, and I do have the brackets ready to pull up and play around with. And I started tracking some other scores, and this one is not relevant to us, but it is very interesting. So in the 4A bracket here, it is relevant to us eventually, but not right now. Gilbert, the number 1 seed, currently in the bottom of the 12th, batting in the bottom of the 12th with 1 out, nobody on, down 6-4 to Aiken, the 16 seed in the lower state bracket. So this is a very interesting development in whatever that is, District A. In District B, May River was down 2-0 early, rallied to win 6-2. The sophomore Trevor, I believe it is, Conti, with a really good outing for them, went the distance. Trace Mishik had a big night at the plate. So they advanced past Brooklyn Casey. They will have to travel to Airport because Airport beat Gray Collegiate, I believe, 5-2 tonight. So May River.
Yeah, that's a winnable one for May River. I think that they have a chance to handle Airport. Meanwhile, I just pulled up the Aiken Gilbert game. The Indians just have
they got just 2 guys on with 1 out now.
Error for Aiken. So we'll see if they rally.
The door is open.
A marathon game over there. Now that's District A. That is the opposite region, or the region next to District B,
May River.
So the winner of that, it's kind of like, the super regionals.
They go into the super regional. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So those 2 teams will match up coming up in that best of 3. Whoever gets out of those 2 regions or districts or whatever you want to call them. That's a key one there. May River Airport for the catbird seat of this bracket. And you got to be excited for what May River did. And early miscues or just fell behind early, but came on strong and was excellent the rest of the way. And May River, this lineup's tough. There are a couple of guys that can find a way to swing the bat and bring in some key runs for that Shark team. I am excited to see what they can do on the road. It's never easy. That's a decently long drive, a trip up to Airport. So we'll see if they're able to sustain that energy on the road.
We're getting sources indicate that it'll be Max Van Esselston on the hill for the Sharks tomorrow.
Well, you can count on Max, or you can count on Van Esselston in big spots. I think he'll be up for the challenge, and what a big moment that will be coming up for the Sharks tomorrow. Yeah, they don't waste any time. You get right back at it tomorrow on the road.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Sharks on the road tomorrow to Airport. Sounds like Big Max on the hill. I don't know what his nickname is. Probably just, you don't need one when you're Max. You can just be Big Max, Mad Max.
Well, that's all.
His brother, of course, is Big Red. Brooks Van Esselston. But great family and good guy to have on the mound for you. In the other brackets over here, Beaufort and Bluffton went at it tonight. And Wes, you were hot on Beaufort going into this playoff, and they look good tonight. 6-1 over the Bobcats, and I'm assuming they'll get Hartsville, but I will check on that and make sure.
I believe so. Yes, I just looked before.
Gotcha.
I've looked on X before I.
But yeah, you were hot on this Beaufort team, and you were quick to tell us, "Told you so."
They were treading upwards. They weren't just beating Carleton, but they were beating them convincingly. And even before this series, I could tell this Beaufort team was playing some terrific baseball. And no surprise that right now they are at the spot they are. But that Hartsville team was impressive tonight. That should be a great game. I feel like Buford has shown that scrappy underdog mentality in recent years, so I wouldn't be surprised for Buford to knock them off. But no easy task on the road. Oh, that should be a terrific baseball game. I wish I could be up there for that one because I just think Buford could be in line for something special again this year. By the way, they showed their pitching tonight, and the way they got to the offense quickly early and often. That's it's a scary sight for anyone to go up against going forward. But Hartsville is an outstanding team, and I think it should be anyone's for the taking coming up tomorrow night. So definitely, I will have my eye on that one for sure. Should be a great one tomorrow over there in Hartsville. Two outstanding baseball programs in South Carolina High School League.
No doubt. They play good ball up in Hartsville. They're always solid.
Bluffton will be
this
home
should be a
tomorrow.
good one. Yeah,
in the
Bluffton will be
game.
home against Darlington.
Yep.
As
Then
our friend Jake Parkey
the Seahawks took one to the chin against Fountain Inn.
Here we go. Oh, hold on. Let me make the sound. I want to make the sound. It's been a minute. We've got a score alert from the comments. Colin Parrish reporting HHCA boys beat Trinity Collegiate 4-3 in penalties, 1-1 after regulation. Prep boys beat Thomas Sumter 10-0. So they both advance in the SCISA playoffs to the semifinals, I believe. I think these are all quarters right now. So good stuff there. Thank you, Colin, for the report. We appreciate it. So yeah, it'll be Bluffton at home against Darlington, Buford traveling to Hartsville. Up here, May River will go to Airport. And then the other one is way up here at the top, Hilton Head. We talked last night about their trip that they had to go on up to the upstate. They got an at-large to the upstate bracket. So they had to take on, great nickname here, the Fountain Inn Fury. And they were furious tonight, 17-1.
Yeah, they showed some fury there. But I saw the girls lacrosse team play them earlier in the year. And they took down the Fury, but unfortunately ended up falling to Michigan. By the way, Gilbert is cut it to 6-5, 2 outs. What a name!
Yes,
the last name of the batter up is Sox, like the Red Sox, the White Sox. Yeah,
Landon Sox. That's a great name.
What a baseball name! I've seen a Bauer Sox before, but I'm just
sure. Yeah, our friend Bauer Sox. Well, Mr. Sox is hitting in the 9-hole, but he's the fourth guy to occupy the 9-hole tonight. So deep into the bench in this 12-inning marathon, and who knows how many at-bats Sox has this season, but he's got a big opportunity here. With
there's
2
nothing,
on, 2 out.
There's nothing like this playoff baseball deep next year. This is why I love this time of year. This is why I love
and if he can grind out a walk or wear one, you get to the top of the order and a base hit walks it off.
So I'll tell you what, no matter what happens, Aiken's they've
brought the fight.
Yeah, and they put up a fight here, but both teams have had to use some pitching here.
Fouled it off. Yeah. Fouled off the first pitch. He went up there hacking. He ain't afraid.
Man, I love it.
K. Haltewanger.
Haltewanger looking for one more out. I love
Henry Rowengarter.
I love this time of year.
Here we go. I'm totally invested. Fouled off another one. He's in the hole 0-2. I'm invested in this game now.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Game Changer is the greatest app of all time.
1 against the 16.
Give us a
Although it's never really like 1 versus 16 because at large, like
not really.
Yeah.
No. But it's still something like that.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal for a team that barely got in to knock off a number 1 seed, a region champ.
That's
well, he took a ball. Tough take. I don't know where it was, but 0-2, any kind of take is tough in that spot. It's hard not to pull the trigger.
There it is.
Oh, struck him out. Mighty Sox.
Wow.
Struck out.
Hornets.
Aiken takes down Gilbert. Wow.
Oh,
so there you go. Gilbert will now have to work its way through the backside, which means that they'll have to beat, I don't know who won between North Augusta and Lakewood, but they'll have to beat the loser of that and then beat the loser of the Aiken versus whomever game.
Right.
And oh, by the way, you just had to use 12 innings worth of pitching, and now you got to go
man,
play. You got
you
to
are
win 4 games in 6 days.
you are
So
not you are in not a ideal situation.
whoever won that North Augusta Lakewood game, on the other hand, is in a very
Should
good
on that
situation.
one, yeah.
But yeah, so that's the 4A baseball bracket starting to take shape for us. What else do we have going on tonight of note? The other baseball didn't start yet, but we had some soccer.
North Augusta 3, Lakewood 0.
Okay, good
Yeah,
pitchers duel. So that puts North Augusta in a really, really good spot.
yeah,
And probably puts Lakewood in a pretty good spot to at least compete against
yep,
Gilbert tomorrow with a depleted pitching staff. So
yeah.
very interesting development, and certainly favors May River if they can get through
Yeah,
their
I mean,
district.
yeah, airport's gonna be a tough one, but
Yeah,
I like what the Sharks are playing right now.
I do
They
too.
played some good baseball in the playoffs, so I think if they can get one tomorrow, that changes everything. If they drop it, then it gets a lot tougher. But it's it's always a fun time of year to see how everything unfolds, and
Oh,
the
it's a
pitching is a big
blast.
part of it because if
You think you have it all figured out, and you
yeah.
never do. It can go all kind of ways on you.
And we're just getting
Um,
started. It's only gonna get busier starting tomorrow because we got softball getting
absolutely.
going, got girls soccer. Tomorrow is going to be a crazy night of sports, and we're gonna try to cover as best we can, but only can be in one place at once. Although
That's
May River
right.
is a nice place to be because we got Hilton May River, and girls soccer is also going on over there. So they're not. It's always nice when you get a school that has multiple events going on one night.
Did you see what the Knicks did tonight? They were
Ooh,
down 20 and they came back and
wow.
beat the Celtics.
Oh
Um,
my goodness.
just an
What
unbelievable
a comeback.
outcome.
What a comeback
108,
from
105. I looked up and it was
wow.
72-52, and they came back and won it.
Oh
So
my
that's crazy
goodness.
work. Crazy work.
Yeah.
But no,
You
I was saying we have a little bit of soccer action
yeah.
from tonight, including a win for Battery Creek boys soccer. And I don't know offhand the last time that they won a playoff game, but it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it would have been recently. But they take down Georgetown 2-0 tonight, and they will face Swansea, which was a 6-0 winner over Ainer in the next round. So Battery Creek gets the win. We'll go on the road next round. And then we had some 1A scores, 2A scores. I'm sorry. Here's a shocker for you, Wes. I do not think you saw this one coming. Bridges Prep falls to Batesburg
Oh
Leesville 2 to
no.
1. And boys
Oh
soccer
no.
played on the new home
Man, and they
pitch.
had that new
And
field and everything, and then
yep,
oh man.
a heartbreaking result. Our friend Mike McCombs, editor of the Island News, was there covering the game for the newspaper. First
Oh,
goal was an own goal. They tried to
oh
clear it,
no.
hit a defender, and came back in the
What a
goal, which is
nightmare.
devastating. Then they went down 2-0 and just had to try to fight back. And as you know, in a playoff situation
Never
like
easy.
that,
Oh
you
yeah,
get a
park
2
the bus.
nothing lead. You park the bus, and it's really hard to break through and come back on that. So tough loss. Mike will be back out for the girls' game tomorrow, and hopefully the Bucks will fare better in that
Yep.
one.
Gonna have
Uh,
to yeah.
oh, I just got a note. Here, let's do the thing again. We'll do the thing again because we just got a little alert in the text messages. Uh, I'm sure there were others, but Joey Haupt, our friend Joey Haupt, came in second place in the javelin in the Skiza 4A state track championship with a
Fantastic.
throw 45.11. So we'll have to
Wow.
dig through those Skiza
Yeah.
track results to see how all the local folks fared in that thing because there is, like you said, a lot going on. It's hard to keep up with everything. So we appreciate those little notes. Getting back to the soccer, we said Bridges Prep lost in 2A, but Hampton County won because we did have one of those Loco and
Indeed.
Loco matchups. And the Hurricanes beat Whale Branch, so they will advance to face Philip Simmons in round 2. Going to be a tough matchup
Yep.
there for the
Yeah.
Canes, but outstanding for them to be on to round 2. not a known
Yeah.
as a soccer power. So that's
Yeah,
a good
that's a
win.
huge win, especially when you get over your rival like that.
Yep.
That's a statement victory for the Hampton County Hurricanes, and it's certainly now it gets tougher, but to get that first win, that's a huge momentum builder for your program, and that's we talk about Hampton County a lot. Obviously, a terrific basketball season, and football has been they're one of their strong suits, but to see them get done on the football field and pick up that win, yeah, over the Whale Branch Warriors, that's awesome to see for this program, and hopefully they can find a way to keep it going and maybe pull off an upset in the next round. So sending our congratulations over to that Hampton County squad and a nice hard fought rivalry win. We talked about it yesterday, but we have a lot of games in these opening rounds between local
It's
teams.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy number. So then in the 1A bracket, we had Ridgeland winning 5-2
Nice.
over Military Magnet. So the
Jags.
Jags will go to Palmetto Scholars in the next round. My nemesis for the next couple of days. That's who we play on Wednesday.
Yep.
I've never cared about the Phoenix before, but now I am very much invested. And then Hardyville, which is misspelled on this bracket, sadly, will host Green Sea Floyds, which is also misspelled on this bracket.
Man, I'm looking
So
forward to all the playoff action in the Ville. It's going to be an awesome week to be a Hardyville fan.
it's
A
a
lot
crazy,
more.
it's
Yep.
a crazy week to have so
We'll
much
keep you
playoff
guys
action.
busy on the news hopefully some good news to report on the morning news over in Hardyville for some.
I hope so. We've pivoted now. We're working on our final project, which is a documentary film of our year in the Ville, so we can
awesome.
take people, share some of the highlights
Yes.
and kind of have an oral history of this year. So
Awesome.
hopefully we'll be talking about some incredible atmosphere and big wins in the playoffs out there.
Yes.
So that's all the soccer. I'll give you a rundown on some of our sponsors before we pivot to our next topic as we get over the hump and into the second half of the Loco Sports Lowdown on a Monday night. Cinco de Mayo. Did you partake in any Cinco de Mayo festivities?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
I should have gotten some tacos or something for dinner.
Yeah.
But I decided not to. But
I didn't either.
yeah.
I didn't either, but if you want some tacos, I bet they got some good fish tacos, shrimp tacos. I know they got good po' boys over at Hudson Seafood House on the docks. They're one of our Loco Booster Club members and presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. We tried to do an episode tonight, but the legendary Hall of Fame sports writer Curry Kirkpatrick had technical difficulties, as he often does, and is going to have it out with his internet provider. So we'll see if we can try it again tomorrow night at 8:00. But if you're not eating at Hudson Seafood House on the docks, join us for Under the Bus tomorrow night on the Loco Media Network. Hilton Head Furniture is the place to get great furniture that lasts a long time. It's handcrafted up in Hickory, North Carolina, and brought down here to the Low Country by the Satola family to sell to you and keep in your home for a generation or more. Hilton Head Furniture, great furniture from North Carolina, right here in the Low Country. And Hilton Head Island, HHI, windows and doors. Coach Barron, our old friend from Hilton Head Prep, the state championship coach, has lent his expertise to a new endeavor, and he's heading up HHI, windows and doors. They want to improve your view of the Low Country. We know it's a beautiful view, but it can always be better. So go see Coach Barron at HHI. Windows and Doors, another Loco Booster Club member. We've got results here from our friend Dane Go Golf from the Region Golf Championship. It looks like Bishop England took first with the 292, May River in second, Bluffton third, Hilton Head fourth, and Buford fifth. Scores for, yep, there you go. And all will advance to lower state. So pretty tightly packed in there. May River, Bluffton right there at 2 and 3. 3 shots separating them. Bishop England a little bit of a cushion there, but solid scores there from Rose Hill today. Wonder how our boy Brady Satcha did. How'd Satcha do, Dane? I'd love to know how Satcha did. But yeah, getting down to it in the golf season. Everything else just feels like practice until you get down to lower state and state, more or less. So here we are. It's time now. Time to turn it on. And the Skeeza boys put on last week. Hilton Head Christian, Hilton Head Prep, and I believe Heritage also won a title. It's been hard to find full results from all of those, but I believe Heritage Academy also made it a Loco near sweep. I don't know that we had somebody in every category, but I think we swept the ones we had somebody in. So good stuff there. So Wes, what else do we have tonight? Not much, but we do have Skiza boys soccer quarterfinals. We mentioned a couple of the scores. John Paul II bows out, tough loss, 1-0 to Wilson Hall. Great battle there. We mentioned Hilton Head Christian and Trinity Collegiate 1-1 through regulation and overtime. They went to penalties. HHCA wins at 4-3, which means that Ian Kelly probably did something spectacular. Buford Academy with a 6-0
Nice.
rolling over Conway Christian. Our friend Ian Leslie, the coach over there. And Patrick Henry boys advanced to the semis, 3-1 over the Kings Academy. And then we heard, I didn't have this on the schedule for some reason, but Hilton Head Prep with the 10-0 win over Thomas Sumter. So good showing for the Loco teams. Only lost one, and it was in a good battle. So
yeah, 4-1.
Loco soccer looking good.
Out in there. Tough for JP2.
Sacha shot a 76 and Dane with a 78.
Nice.
Solid outings.
Yeah, I mean, we've got potential for several Skiza teams in state championship games this weekend. I only got to win one more to get there, so we'll see how many can make that last step over to the state title. We could have several. Hilton Head Prep for sure has potential because obviously baseball is in a great position right now. Girls soccer, I feel like they have a great shot, so they could be celebrating a lot of outstanding seasons over there. Hilton Head Prep, they're 3A for these schools, so they've got a really good opportunity to bring in some hardware this spring. I'm excited to see what they can do, and especially that baseball team, which is on a roll right now. I was really impressed with what I saw in that academy game. They get a lot of rest now, so their pitching should be pretty much set for their next game on Wednesday. That's the beauty of being in the spot. Not only do you have to win fewer games, but get to rest your pitching too.
Yeah, and I don't know who they'll have. The brackets haven't been updated.
They played tonight.
Quite some time.
Yeah,
but I don't even know who.
Yeah,
they haven't updated them in enough time to even know who was playing for that game. I assume Williamsburg was still in it. So
it's either Williamsburg or
Calhoun. Yeah, Williamsburg lost to Calhoun.
Yeah, so it's Calhoun again, 3-2.
So it'll be Calhoun coming back
again.
they'll have to try to beat Prep twice. And
that first game really wasn't competitive. I was there for that one, and Prep took it to them. So I don't think. Now you never know, but I think Prep has a pretty good shot at advancing to the state championship series. And I don't remember the last time they've gotten there, but they're a win away from doing that.
Yeah, they had some good runs, but it was in 4A. It was 11-inning game that Calhoun won. It was in 4A, and they made some deep runs, but they just ran out of gas before the end.
Yeah, and it certainly,
Cardinal Newman beat Trinity tonight 5-3. So they will.
They'll come to the cage.
They will come to the cage, and then we're getting texts from everyone tonight. Chris Wells,
love it. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I love it. He says, in other news, PD eliminated tonight by St. John's Christian.
Ooh,
so,
wow.
The path is very clear
for
Hilton Head Prep here. They're in pretty good shape.
Yep. Well, other teams have been folded.
Good.
Dolphins have stayed true, and that's what you want to see at this time of year. Is that did they eliminate? So the card.
So it'll be St. John's against Orangeburg.
Oh, so PD's out. So it's St. John's.
PD's gone.
Yeah.
Yep. So, it would look like Orangeburg versus Hilton Head Prep, which I don't think is much of a fight, but we shall see. That's why they play the games. So yeah, it'll be Hilton Head Christian and Cardinal Newman in the 4A bracket, possibly twice. We shall see about that as well. But the Eagles have a chance to close it out at home. And then soccer brackets. Soccer. So HHCA boys advancing over Trinity tonight in penalties on the road. So they will travel to Pinewood Prep, which is, not great for them. What were the results this season? May not be that bad. I don't know. 2-0 the first time. and 1-0 the second time. So competitive matches. So definitely not a foregone conclusion there. HHCA will go and try to battle Pinewood Prep for a spot in the state championship game. In the 3A girls, Prep had a bye. I don't know which one of them they're going to play. I don't think it probably matters. We won't know till tomorrow night. And then Patrick Henry and Carleton Prep both on the road to start things tomorrow. And then we have to go to a whole new place to see the 2A brackets. Here we go. Hilton Head Prep home against Thomas Sumter tonight. They won 10-0, so they will take on either PD or Spartanburg Day in the second round. I don't think they'll have too much trouble there either. So I expect them to be in that state championship game on Saturday in Columbia against one of those teams, Greenwood Christian, Christian Academy, probably, or Dillon Christian, but I'm guessing Christian Academy. And the 2A, 1A combined bracket with its whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. Buford Academy and Oakbrook will go at it Thursday in the semifinal at BA.
Oh boy. Yeah, so, nice to get that home game there for the BA Eagles. Oh, they need that one. I'm just saying, BA's had they've had a lot going on this year, and it would be nice to see those BA girls get it done and move on to that state title game. And there could be a lot of local action on Saturday, which will be in Columbia. So that's exciting stuff for those Skeeza soccer teams. Is they play the whole playoffs in a week. It goes by quickly. And
right.
We've got a couple.
Happens fast.
Yes.
Life comes at you fast.
Yes.
But we'll have state champs on Saturday in Skeeza soccer. And then we still haven't seen tennis scores from tonight, but that's all we're missing. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we're going to have baseball, May River at Airport in a winner's bracket game, as well as Buford at Hartsville. Elimination games for Darlington at Bluffton and Hilton Head High at Lancaster. Is that who it is? It's Lancaster that they get. And then Battery Creek at Loris to open the 3A baseball tournament, and Hardyville home against Charleston Math and Science to open the 1A district tournament. We'll also have some softball kicking off tomorrow night. 4A district, Bluffton at Gray Collegiate, Buford at Darlington, Hilton Head at May River, and Airport at Colleton County. So a couple home games in there.
Oh, it is
it's
a Super Tuesday. It is a crazy.
It is. We haven't even touched the soccer yet, and there's a bunch of it. 4A first round girls, Colleton County at AC Flora. They got an at-large in the upper state, so they'll go up to Flora. Buford at Bishop England, Bluffton at Gray Collegiate, Brooklyn Casey at May River, rematch of baseball tonight, and Aiken at Hilton Head. So couple home games in there, a couple uphill battles against some really tough squads, but we'll see how it shakes out. And then Battery Creek boys got the win tonight. The girls in action at home tomorrow night against Newberry in Class 3A. And then 2A, 1A bracket, womp womp. We were hoping for a separate 1A bracket. We didn't get it. Hardyville at the Governor's School, Woodland at Hampton County, and Columbia at Bridges Prep. So another chance to play on that new home turf at Bridges Prep, and hopefully get the first dub on there. A tough night tonight for the boys. And then Skeeza quarterfinals, girls, Colleton Prep at Christian Academy in Myrtle Beach, and Patrick Henry at Greenwood Christian.
Yeah, see if the Patriots can make it 2 for 2 in the quarterfinals. See what the girls can back up what the guys did tonight, and of course the baseball 2 days in a row. And we get Bluffton at home. See if they can continue their season against Darlington. Hopefully they can find a way to scrap out that one and stay alive. And we'll see what Hilton Head Christian Academy can do to maybe cause some chaos and then live to fight another day, or at least another couple days. But I think the game that I'm most looking forward to is we'll really can say maybe Airport, but Buford Hartsville has the makings of a Donnybrook, in my opinion. That should be a really good one. We'll be keeping an eye on that one, and I'll be refreshing Game Changer from wherever I am multiple times.
Oh yeah. I live on Game Changer right now, so that's no change for me. But it's half the time I'm scoring my own game, so I can't really be checking on the other games at that time. But it's a very exciting time, and I actually have to reach out when we're done here, or actually tomorrow, to the folks at Palmetto Scholars and get everything set up for them to come play us on Wednesday. Should be fun. All right, let's get our last sponsors in here, and then we'll hit the parting thoughts and call it a night. Bit of an early night, which is good
Yeah.
because I'm tired.
Yeah.
A few more sponsors. Base Hit Life is our baseball and softball themed apparel sponsor. They got some great styles that are, diamond appropriate. So live your best at Base Hit Life at basehitlife.com if you want to look stylish at the ballpark this summer. Dr. Ambrose Cole is our official chiropractor. Find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you. And Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland. Whether you need a haircut or not, you might even see a Loco celebrity there.
Yeah.
There's quite a few who pass through there. Wes, what do you got for parting thoughts tonight, buddy?
Well, first off, just awesome to see a great culmination. Obviously, the scoreboard. Forget what it said. The scoreboard. Great season for Big River, and on top of that, a great turnout of fans. That's exactly what you want to see. That level of support, and we didn't just see parents, but we saw fellow classmates, students. We saw some Bluffton people there too. I mean, that's what it's all about: supporting your fellow Loco team, and and then the ovation that those fans gave me River at the end, despite the lopsided scoreline. They knew how big this was to get to this moment. I mean, placing second in the state, first time anybody's done it around here, is just remarkable. And I mean, that's a big step in the right direction for lacrosse in the Low Country. And May Rivers, I mean, you can't take that away from them. They set the example, they set the bar, and now who's going to take it a step forward and maybe win one in the coming years? But it's lacrosse is as wrestling is. When May River got on top of the mountain for that one this year, lacrosse is in that right direction as well, and it's awesome to see. And hopefully we continue to see those feeder programs, because that's the key. When the feeder programs are able to find kids who are going to buy in and focus on lacrosse and get better, that's the difference you need. And then as Coach said, seek out competition away from the. I mean, obviously you want to test yourself against fellow teams from here, but you gotta reach outward and bring some other teams in, or travel there, and that's how you get better. That's how you find some improvements, is by going up against some real strong competition, not just here but around the Southeast in general. But I think we are in a great place in terms of local lacrosse, for sure.
Well.
Sad story that I saw a couple days ago. The young man who unfortunately fell at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, there's encouraging signs today that he was taking his first steps. The young man who fell off into at a Pittsburgh Pirates game a few weeks ago, or a week ago, and it's great to see that he is doing well, and that's awesome to see. He had a broken neck, among other things, a broken clavicle, just awful. We have seen that before, where fans try to catch a home run ball, or a fly ball or a foul ball, and you just got to be really, really careful. I mean, it's great news that he's in recovery, but man, that is a scary sight.
My fear of heights would never let me. Not a chance.
And finally, my condolences to St. Louis Blues fans for letting that slip away with 1.6 seconds on the clock, and then losing in double overtime. So that's cool.
I can't even rightly call myself a Blues fan anymore, but I haven't adopted another hockey team either.
Right.
Like, they are my hockey team. I'm not invested in them.
Yes.
But there was a time in my life before the strike, when I was in college, when I watched every Blues game, and they won the President's Trophy, and they were supposed to win it all, and Mike Ricci and Owen Nolan and the Sharks beat them in the first round. And then the next year was the strike, and then I moved to South Carolina. So I was like, hockey, what's that? So I just kind of forgot about the Blues for years. But I picked that game up last night because Game 7, right? Like,
Right.
and I'm gonna watch a Game 7 no matter what.
Yeah.
And it was the Blues, so I got invested in it because our goalie Bennington was standing on his freaking head, keeping us in the game in
Yeah.
overtime. I know they let up a rough one at the end of regulation, but I picked it up in overtime and I was fully invested, and I forgot how anxious
Yeah.
overtime Game 7 hockey is when you're actually invested, because like momentum means nothing. They
Right.
can be
And
just relentlessly, pounding the puck, working the puck, and then
yeah.
one misstep, and all of a sudden it's a breakaway the
Yeah.
other way, and you're like, "Oh my
It can end pretty
god!"
much any second.
Oh, it's so scary.
Yep. What do you got, JJ?
At least in baseball, there's some build up to it, and you
Right.
can see it
Even
coming
like
from
other
a mile
sports,
away.
yes, yeah, but it's instantaneous. It can
Yeah,
break your heart at any second. But
and you cannot multitask and watch
right.
hockey. That doesn't work. You'll miss everything.
No,
But
exactly.
so that's a tough watch for me at
Yeah.
this stage in my life. I got a couple of closing thoughts for you. One, shout out to the squad that Rob Benson
Yes.
and company have assembled. Mike Keenan and CJ Coddington coaching up this crew of middle school girls for our first crop of One Loco. I guess One Loco Academy is what we're calling it, where we just had some girls who kept showing up to the trainings, and we said, well, let's get this crew on the road and see what they can do. They played a 3-on-3 and had some success, and they went and played their first 5-on-5 at the Spring Invitational and took the championship. So they beat a team in OT that they had lost to in pool play. Great performance by some kids who just weren't satisfied after their school seasons
Yep.
and wanted to go get better and keep playing, and they're seeing the results of their labor.
Yep.
So love to see that. And then
Awesome.
the other one, we talked about it last night in great detail, but look at this trophy that our boy Bryson Nimmer got. How beautiful is that thing?
How?
And I
El
love that
Campeon.
someone in the comments said Wakanda trophy, which is on the money.
Yes. Yes.
But the
Yes.
best was
That's a
Riley
big deal.
Miller, the wife, the new bride, who is expecting, who said, "Should we hang that over the baby's crib? Would look great on those cotton candy pink walls." Love to
Oh
see
man.
it. I
That's
saw an interview with
awesome.
Bryson. I didn't realize how close he had gotten to hanging it up, going to work for
Wow.
Pops, working for the
Wow.
turf farm. Um, he was on conditional status, so the reason he had only had 3 starts was not by choice. It was that
Yeah.
he'd only had 3 starts,
I mean,
and he
you're
was
you're
really really scraping and
yeah.
didn't have any
This
points.
is
And
I mean,
um,
it's he was down to his last couple of shots throughout. I mean, in all hindsight, when you only have when you're a conditional member, you only have a few opportunities,
a
and
few
now,
shots.
yeah, and now he's got a lot more now that he has earned his. He can play in any Corn Ferry tournament now with the full status now because the winners of the last this year and last year get priorities. So he'll basically gets like a 2-year contract or at least a 1-year extension after this year. That is enormous, and what just the persistence and what he
Yeah,
has shown to earn this opportunity in the season. I mean, that is what sports are all about, and that's why we love doing this. That's why we love covering this, and to follow someone throughout his whole career, or at least
yeah,
the majority of his pro career, and to see all the ups and downs. Man, it's just really rewarding when something like that
yeah.
happens.
Really
That's
happy.
what it's
Really
about.
happy for him.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
stuff. All right. Anything else before we call it a
Um,
night?
I believe that's all I got. I'm not sure where I'll be tomorrow. I gotta decide. There May River possibly. Hilton Head girls are home and might be there. They play Aiken, so there are a lot of spots to cover, and there's only a few of us here from Loco Sports. So if you're in a game,
Yeah.
if you want to
Keep us
shoot some
posted.
video or at least give us a
Yeah.
score update, shoot us up. Hit us up on the Loco Lowdown. We're going to be on pretty much every night this week because playoffs are coming in hot every single night the next couple of weeks, and we need to be updated and everything. So if you're at a game, hit us up with some scores, maybe some video too.
Yeah. Let's keep it up what we had tonight with the comments coming in with some breaking news, as well as the text messages popping in with context and other notes of interest. So we appreciate that. We love it when it's interactive. It's supposed to be a community. That's kind of the idea. So we appreciate all of you who are a part of this community, and thanks to all of our community sponsors who make it possible, especially the OGs, Mickels and Law Firm, supporting us since the beginning. And I did talk to someone tonight at the ballpark who said, hey, I owe you a sponsorship info. So I'm going to do that tonight and see if we can't announce a new sponsor here on the Loco Sports Lowdown next time we get together, which should be tomorrow night, because we got, as you dubbed it, Super Tuesday.
Well, I don't want to copyright anything because there are.
Yeah, I know that's a political thing too. We don't want to go down that path.
No, I know that college, the ESPN used to label their big college basketball night Super Tuesday. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't think they could have. I don't know if they could have gotten that one or not, but we don't care. We don't. Yeah,
let's make it our own
Terrific Tuesday.
Terrific Tuesday. That's
Two Scoops Tuesday.
Yes, something different than I don't want to get too much into those weeds. So
as long as we don't say the FF one or the SS one for the NCAA basketball, right? You can't say, and you can't say the MM one either. You can't say
right. Yeah.
They're ridiculous. The NBA is a cartel. All right. Well, let's call it a night. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors. Thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch, especially those who chimed in to give us a little news or insight or context into what's going on around the Loco. It's a lot to keep up with. We do our best, and we appreciate your help. Thanks to everybody who hung out with us. For Wes Kerr and the absent Max Araj, who decided to take the night off after all, I'm Justin Jarrett. We'll be back tomorrow night. Until then, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco!